Okay, this video is for engine removal on a 2013 Hyundai Sonata. This is more to give you a feel for what needs to be done, kind of some tips and tricks. In the grand scheme of things, this is a really easy, a real nice front-wheel drive engine to replace. You don't need a hoist. If you have a hoist, great, but you can definitely do this in your driveway or in the garage. Okay, I'm gonna try to bring up the key points here. So, the exhaust, for disconnecting the exhaust, you can see there's the pipe right there. There's a flex pipe behind it. Here's the engine on the ground here. Pretty much disconnect it right there, right at the, here's your catalytic converter. So undo those two nuts right there. Heater hoses. Here, just disconnect it from the motor. Here's one, and there's one too. You can see I got the heater hoses kind of tucked away by the brake booster. Unbolting the engine from the transmission. There is, right about here, there was a plastic cover. Take it out. Get a 22mm socket on the front of the crankshaft. Turn it over slowly, and you easily get access to 4 bolts. I believe they were also 14mm. They were 14mm heads on those. A key point for supporting the engine, or I'm sorry, the transmission, because the transmission relies on the engine for support. There is this one transmission mount here, but you can't rely on that to really support the engine. So what I did, the transmission, I mean, ran a ratchet strap from the sway bar there. The sway bar is very stout and very well supported, so I felt good about that. Ratchet strap up to the top of the radiator core support. It's steel up there. The bottom of it is actually just fragile plastic, so you certainly wouldn't want to mount or grab onto that in any way. What else? Okay. Air conditioning system. Nope, you do not have to. You don't have to purge it, recover it. AC compressor actually have hanging right here. So unbolt it from the engine, undo the clutch electrical connector from the engine harness, and just kind of let it dangle here. I have it supported by a bungee cord. Works really well. None of the hoses or connections are under strain right now. Starter too. Also, I just pretty much unbolted it from the engine, set it aside, supported it with a bungee cord. Didn't even need to disconnect the connections on the starter. Neither of the connections on the starter solenoid. Oh, what else can I say here? Oh yeah. So as far as the electrical harness, very easy to work with. So the PCM is in the engine compartment on the driver's side. Carefully, with respect to connectors there, disconnect the 2 connectors that go into the ECU or PCM. Put those on the engine. Also, there's a very easy connector that is undone from the fuse box. So disconnect that and lay it on the engine. But overall, I was really impressed with the electrical harness on it because, sometimes it ties into the body in such a way that you have to undo every single component, electrical connector on the engine, which is a pain in the butt, and then keep it with the body of the car. But in this case, I've got motion sensor lights in here. In this case, yeah, I was really impressed with how easy that harness was. So, certainly there's a weekend job. I mean, if you want to go about it at a leisurely pace, one day to remove it, one day to install it. If you're motivated, you could definitely get it knocked out within the day. Yeah, that's pretty much it. I can't think of any other, it's got one single fuel line that connects to disconnect it right here. Yeah, that's pretty much it. I can't really say too much else on it. It's pretty tight. So the engine has to pull away from the transmission, obviously, to clear the housing on it. I pretty much had it right up against that hat channel or frame rail, the AC line, I did unbolt the coolant reservoir, undid the AC line from its plastic holsters or brackets, and just kind of jostle it over a little bit so there's room for, because I pretty much had that crankshaft pulley bolt right up against the rail. You can see the rubbing there. So you got to play with that. You have to, I did use a ratchet strap to kind of pull up the transmission a little bit to clear the flex plate bolts on the crankshaft. So a little snug getting it out, but not terrible though. Not bad at all. Yeah, so overall, in the grand scheme of things, this is a pretty easy front wheel drive engine to remove. So no need to drop it from below, no need to drop the subframe or anything like that. But yep, hopefully that helps someone else out, and thanks for watching.